Okay, now let's start an exercise from scratch. I will, this time, instead of creating a standard, I will create an HD preset. And for this exercise, it will be a bouncing ball. It's a simple exercise, but this bouncing ball allows us to explore several principles of animation, such as ease in and ease out, stretch and squash, anticipation, and so on. So I will create my scene here. I have here my scene. I will create the ground, and for the ground, I don't want any stroke. I just want a fill color. And I will make like this would be my ground, and I will align it to the bottom, center bottom. So I will bring up my align panel, and okay, I want it in center, but I want align to the bottom. And now I can lock this layer, and this is my ground. And now I'll create my ball. So this will be my ground, okay. I can put it somewhere here, and I will make this fit in window to be sure that I'm saying all that. If you want to remove some extra ground, you can just select and delete if you want to, else you can just leave it, it's okay. And now I'll create my ball, and for my ball I want a stroke. You can leave this, and now my ball will be like lighter, okay. And I will create a new layer for that, and this would be my ball layer. And here is my ball. Double click, and now I will convert it to a symbol. You can press F8, and this is my ball. And now I will keep it as a movie clip, or you can have it as a graphic. Okay, here is my ball, and now I will align it to the center. Okay, well, here actually I don't need to be to the center. I will probably have to change the size of this. So for example, this, if I want to change the size, notice that I have here my center point. So if I resize it like this, it will be resized to the center. So I can put it here, and then I can just put it like this. And now I can have my ball smaller. I can resize it here, or I can come here and resize it here, okay? It's up to you. It's different, of course, because in this case I'm resizing, inside here I'm resizing the movie clip itself, and here I'm just resizing the instance of the movie clip. Alright, so if you want to, here you can see that the resize is going towards that point. So if you want to make it like in the center, you can just put it there, and then you have it here, so you have like the center working as a pivot point. Okay, let's put it again on the center. So let's make it bouncing, right? So we have to think about, I will do it, and we'll do an animation with 25 frames. So I will press F6 here to create a new keyframe, and to bring the ground here, we'll press F5, just creating frames. And now in the middle, it will be my, at frame 13, it will be the contact position. So I will create a keyframe here, so F6, insert keyframe, and I will bring it to the ground, okay? And now this is happening, and we can create a classic twin here, classic twin, and here, classic twin, and we have this, right? So this, we can also press Ctrl Enter to see the animation, and this movement is very robotic and it's not realistic, right? So we should adjust that, but my window, why is it at this size? Okay, this is my true size. So now let's explore ease in and ease out options, one of the 12 principles of animation. To work with the ease in and ease out, we are talking about something that happens during the movement. So to access to those options, we have to click on our keyframes to access to the twinning options. So the first keyframe, and we will consider that the ball starts slower and then it will go faster until it reaches the ground. We will go here and we can use one of the presets that we have here. So if we start slower and then go faster, we want to ease in at the beginning. So I will go with we have several curves and you can see a simulation or try to imagine the simulation of the movement with this graphic representation. I will go with the quad, so it's not very intense ease in. Okay, and for this keyframe will be the opposite. So instead of ease in would be a ease out, and I will go also with the quad. And okay, let's see how it looks like. It looks good to me. But we can keep going with our changes of this bouncing ball. So considering the stretch and squash principle, we can think about this ball as being more squashy. So what we can do is to squash the ball when the ball hits the ground, keeping in mind that we should not just squash because it will be bigger. Okay, the mass of the ball must be maintained. We have to do something like this. So what we can do to help us on keeping the mass of the ball is that instead we have here like 100 and 100, so the sum of these values should be 200. So if I do something like 130, here it should be 70. Okay, but as you can see, when I'm changing these values, due to the pivot point, what I'm doing is something that it will give me more work, is that I will need the ground line, and I can do it, I will view and rulers to grab a guideline to be the ground, and instead of going this as we did with the ground, we can just change this pivot point, but pay attention that this pivot point will change now during the animation. I have a first keyframe where the pivot point is on the center, here the pivot point is on the bottom, and it will again be on the center here. So what is happening, and you can see here that there's a big jump. It's because of this pivot point. So I suggest you to do it before the animation. So the pivot point is here, okay? And I want it actually there because the stroke is also part of my element. And we can just clear keyframe, and also this one, clear keyframe. Actually, we are redoing the animation. So I'm to be sure that I will not change my pivot point during the animation. Again, 3, and now I will put it on the ground. Okay, and this is my ground line. And again, let's make it. This is an ease in, a quad, and this is an ease out, also a quad. Okay, just check it. Yeah, perfect. So let's do the squash, and we can do it manually, but pay attention that if you just do the squash like 120 and 180, something like this, the ball will start squashing before hitting the ground, and that doesn't make any sense. So we cannot just do this. We have to be sure that the moment before we have our ball at 100 per 100, and again in the following keyframe the same. And now here, yes, we can change these values to be sure that you have these unlocked, of course. 20, 80. And now let's see how it looks like. Okay, let's see it on the preview window. It looks okay, but it appears to me that the ball is not enough time on the ground. So let's bring the ball to the ground earlier. So instead of just staying on the ground here, we will put this keyframe, so this animation will happen faster because the ball will be almost hitting the ground here. And I will copy this frame, copy frames, and paste it also there because these two keyframes should be pretty much the same. And let's see the difference. Okay, we have a ease in and ease out problem now. You saw those those movements were a bit changed. So let's right. So this was an is out, okay, quad, and again here is the same. We should keep it as okay. Let's see now. Okay, now we have something. It's better, but we can enhance it. If instead of just squashing, since this is a squashy ball, because of gravity, the ball can be actually stretched. So here we can do the opposite, and it will be stretched immediately before getting squashed. So again, I will copy this frame, copy frames, and paste frames. Whoop, let's see. Okay, I will preview it in the preview window, and it's better, but something is wrong again with our is in and is out. I will just correct it here. Is in and is out, yes. So this is an is, quad is in, quad is out, perfect. Okay, let's see. Okay, now I like it.